January and February, and what they said we can expect. 2026 is off to a very busy and interesting start, and the next month and a half is certainly no exception to the rule. Because of that, I've compiled a short list of different items that we know for a fact will be happening or also have a very high degree of happening based on some remarks out of high-profile individuals. So with that being said, I want to get into the details of this short list that I've compiled for you. If you've been watching the videos here on the channel for a while now, you know that you've heard me say many, many times, 2026 is going to be very busy, very interesting. It's going to be chaotic, and there's going to be a lot of different things happening. Here we are, not even 2 weeks into the year as of right now as I film this video, and I think we all recognize, yeah, it's been pretty busy so far, right? Anyway, with that being said, let's jump into the list here, and I'll certainly go into all of these in a lot of detail for you and explain exactly what I mean by each of them. Number one, as we speak right here, in just a couple days, we're going to be getting the final inflation data point from the month of December 2025. Now, obviously, here we are in January 2026, but we're going to be getting the latest inflation data point from December. That's going to be a very important one, especially for those of you living on a fixed income benefit that received the 2.8% COLA. We can talk about that a whole lot more in just a little while, but that's going to be a very important data point to watch because it all impacts our money, our benefits, and our finances, honestly, in a pretty big way. Now, number two, over the next handful of weeks here, the remaining beneficiaries, tens of millions of people that have not received that 2.8% cost of living adjustment yet, will be getting that here over the next handful of weeks because the bulk of the payments will be going out literally in the next 3 weeks or so between now and the end of the month, and I'll talk about that in more detail in just a second as well. Now, number three, at the end of the month, we're going to be getting the next Federal Reserve meeting. Now, it feels like we just had that meeting because we did in the middle portion of December, but now the very next one is coming up at the end of January. This is a very important meeting simply because, well, a lot of people want them to cut interest rates, and again, we'll talk about that more in just a second. Now, number four, they're anticipating significantly more volatility in the markets. Now, it seems like if you've been watching the markets like I have, it seems like they continue to go up every single day. The market just keeps going up and up and up, and everything just keeps going up, right? Well, they're anticipating a whole lot more volatility coming forward over the coming weeks and months here. And again, we'll discuss that in a lot more detail. Now, number five, for those of you that receive food stamp benefits or SNAP benefits, remember, once we roll over to January, another handful of states will be implementing the new rules based on those restrictions as far as what you can buy with your food stamp or your SNAP benefits, okay? So that's going to be a very, very interesting one. Now, number six, at the end of 2025 in December, we heard out of the White House economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, that early on in 2026, that the administration is likely going to be releasing the official outline for these $2,000 dividend payments. Well, hello, here we are in early 2026, and a lot of us are anticipating the release of that official proposal on the distribution of these $2,000 payments that a lot of people really, really want and need very, very badly right now. And I do want to talk about all of these in a whole lot more detail, but before we do, a quick word from today's sponsor, Toogood Gold. I want to take a quick break from the video and talk about today's sponsor, Toogood Gold. I think this could be a massive opportunity for investors as gold is currently in a generational bull run, and at an only $16 million market cap, the company is significantly undervalued. Here's why I think the company's stock is set to soar. First off, the leadership team has generated over $3 billion in shareholder value in mining, including recently Snowline Gold, which is worth $2.2 billion. The company also owns 100% of the project in Newfoundland. This is a high-quality project located within one of the world's most premier gold jurisdictions, right beside the Queensway Mine, which is worth $742 million, and the Valentine Gold Mine, which has mineral reserves of 2.7 million ounces of gold. These are massive, massive mines worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and we think Toogood could be next. Initial drill results show huge potential for gold, with 10 out of 30 holes showing visible high-grade gold, and the timing couldn't be any better. The gold bull run is going to continue into 2026, even with Bank of America, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs, all of which saying gold is likely going to reach $5,000 per ounce in 2026. These are three of the most highly respected financial institutions in the entire world, and they're also suggesting the gold bull run is just beginning. Investors need to position themselves to cash in on this opportunity. Toogood Gold is currently my #1 gold stock pick. Seriously, consider checking them out with more information that I've linked for you down below in the description of this video. And as always, a huge thank you to Toogood Gold for sponsoring this video. And again, as always, this is not financial advice. All right, now let's talk through these topics one by one in a whole lot more detail. Remember, #1 is the release of the final inflation data for the month of December 2025. Now, this is going to be a very important one to watch simply because, well, those of you that rely on your Social Security benefit or any benefit that also gets the 2.8% COLA, we need to understand this inflation data simply to understand, is it gone already? As in, they announced it way back at the end of October. We've seen a higher inflation since then. Is it basically all evaporated at this point? Well, unfortunately, that is usually the case. And we also understand that right now in January, basically when you see your first check, you're also going to have your Medicare Part B premium increase by that 9.6%, or again, $17.90 of the increase that came into that as well, eating away the bulk of your raise, which is really unfortunate for a lot of beneficiaries. So this is going to be a very interesting report. Again, that comes out on Tuesday, so literally just in a couple days from right now, okay? Now, #2, remember, over the next couple weeks here, we get into the Wednesday's schedule for Social Security distribution of payments, okay? So in just a couple days here on Wednesday, that's going to be the first wave of those payments that will be going out to the beneficiaries, and then the next couple Wednesdays after that. So the next 3 Wednesdays, the bulk of beneficiaries will be receiving all of their payments. Again, hundreds of billions of dollars will be going out in the form of these payments, going out to all these beneficiaries who receive these Social Security benefits, and again, also receiving your higher benefit, at least it should be a bit higher, because of that 2.8% COLA. But remember, just for the reason that I mentioned a second ago, a lot of it's going to be eaten up because of the new Medicare Part B premium. So examine your new monthly benefit very closely. It's not going to look like a whole lot more, but technically it actually is a whole lot. Well, I shouldn't say a whole lot more. It's technically a little bit more, right? All right, #3. At the very end of the month, we're going to be having the next Federal Reserve meeting. Now, this is, again, very interesting and a very good one, simply because it impacts the money, the benefits, the finances of virtually everybody out there. Because when they lower interest rates, it also helps to lower interest rates on things like credit cards, adjustable rate mortgages, also maybe auto loans that are possibly adjustable, or lines of credit or anything like that. It's all going to be pegged to the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates. Again, if they decide to do that at the very end of the month here, we will see. The consensus is about 50-50 as of right now. Half the people think, yeah, we think that they're going to cut interest rates, and about half the people say, no, I really don't think they're going to cut interest rates again. So that's going to be a very interesting report. Meeting, I should say, not a report, but meeting. That'll be coming out the very last Wednesday of the month. Watch for that. That's going to be a very important one. And again, impacting all of our benefits and our finances. We will have to see what happens there. Now, #4, remember, I said volatility in the marketplace. Now, it's been somewhat muted over the last few months here, as in the markets just keep going up and up and up. But people are saying, hey, this is massively unsustainable with the market just keep going up all the time like this, and they're anticipating massive volatility here to come in the next few weeks. So we will see what happens, but that's going to be, with the new year, all the new changes, the reallocations of money, and whatever happens, we'll see. But they're projecting calm times when the market just keeps going higher is likely usually met by high periods of volatility, but we will have to see exactly what happens. Now, #5, in February, remember, a few more states will be implementing the new rules coming in for the food stamp beneficiaries as far as your limitations on what you can buy with your food stamps, as in your EBT, your SNAP card, your your SNAP benefits, your food stamp benefits, as far as the restrictions on the purchase of carbonated beverages, soda, candy, dessert foods or prepared dessert items, things like that. They've, they have these 18 waivers out there, and they started 5 at the beginning of the year, those 5 states that came in, and now they have a handful more coming in February, more in March, more in April, and through the rest of the year, there's going to be more. So this is going to be more of a mess, even more confusion that's already been implemented so far, based on just those 5 states that rolled out at the beginning of the year as well. And you've heard me talk about that extensively in other videos quite a bit. That's been a mess so far. Maybe it'll get fixed up here in the next couple weeks before the next batch of states start rolling that out as well. Okay. Now, number 6, this is an important one, and I think a lot of us are waiting very patiently, or we're trying to be very patient on this one. But remember, back in mid-December, Kevin Hassett, the White House economic advisor, he was out in an interview. In fact, I have a video right here on the channel with that interview that I have from back in the middle portion of December. I don't remember the title of that video, but anyway, he was out, and I featured that video in a separate video where you could see it. But he indicated that sometime early in 2026, they're likely going to be coming out, as in the administration releasing the official proposal on that $2,000 dividend payment that the president talked about originally back on November 9th. And again, I covered that extensively. So that's going to be very, very important, because a lot of people want to know the official parameters around this. Who gets it? How much is it really going to be? When are we really going to see it? What's the income thresholds around it? What other little parameters may they have around it as far as eligibility? We all want to know. Right now, it's still somewhat of a guessing game, because we just honestly don't really know. We don't know those details quite yet, because they haven't introduced anything officially. They've just said very vaguely, like, these groups will get it, and people with this income will get it, and stuff like that, right? Which, again, I've covered extensively. So that's just what I want to point out for you now. And again, these are either the things that for sure 100% will be happening, or number 6, like I said, and also the volatility point. Those are the ones that are anticipated to happen here relatively soon. Does it actually happen in January, February? We don't know. We don't know. Again, we're not sure, but based on what they're saying, the officials, the high-profile people that are projecting all this, they're saying sometime soon is when all this will likely be hitting. So some of it, we know for sure, will be coming in here. Again, the ones that I pointed out, as well as some of the other ones, it's yet to be seen, and we'll see what happens here. Either way, just want to point this out for you really quickly in this short video, let you know what's going on. And again, I say this all the time, every single day, as we work our way through the months, through the days, the weeks, and the months, every single day, more and more information will be coming out, and it's going to be very busy and chaotic. I'll certainly keep you updated. Again, 2026 is the year. You've heard me say that so many times. It's going to be a very, very busy year. We're already off to it. I mean, literally, as I film this video, not even 2 weeks in right now, and a lot of things are happening, right? It's a busy one out there. Anyway, I'm here for you. Please make sure to subscribe if you have not done so. Otherwise, share the video. Big share button down below. If you're one of the 70 million people on Medicare, as always, make sure to call and get help, get free help, making sure that you, have all your questions answered, whatever it happens to be as far as your Medicare coverage. If you need help finding the right Medicare coverage for your personal needs, again, call Chapter. Phone number's linked down below, top of the comment section, in the description as well. It's there. Otherwise, it's usually right there on all of my videos as well. And give them a call. That'll absolutely help you out. Otherwise, let me know what else I can do for you. Please subscribe if you've not done so. Please share the video. Until next time, have a good one. Take care, and I'll catch you again later in the next video.